beast! Ah!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Megs.
And this week we watched 2009's Astro Boy. 100 years ago, a city that surrounded a mountain detached from the earth and rose into the sky to escape the industrialization of the landscape. It's called Metro City. Robots are a common thing and necessary for everyday life in Metro. Toby lives there and is a brilliant young boy and son of a brilliant energy scientist named Bill Tenma. They don't have the closest relationship, but Toby has been excited about his dad's new project and a demonstration that's going to take place. Tenma tells Toby he cannot be present for the demonstration, so Toby hijacks his butler robot, Orin, to take him to the government science offices anyway. The military and the president is there. They want to test a new energy source as a weapon. Toby runs to his dad, but the president tells someone to take him somewhere safe and he won't see the demonstration of something called a protector. Tenma's assistant, Elephant, has discovered a new energy source from space. He thinks it could be a transformative thing for the city, but there's a problem. When he extracted the positive blue energy, he was left with negative red energy that's unpredictable. The president likes the red one and interrupts Elephant's presentation to confiscate both the blue and the red energy cores. Meanwhile, Toby steals an access badge so he can sneak into the testing area. In testing, the president insists on implementing the red energy into the protector, a war machine of a robot. But there's another problem. The bot is made of adaptive tech, so it absorbs things around it to become bigger and stronger. As the test starts to go very wrong, Tenma drops a shield to stop the protector, but Toby is stuck on that side of the chamber with the bot. The bot tries to get through the shield with a giant energy ray, but that does nothing to the shield, so the bot absorbs it instead. Once it's gone, Elephant jabs its chest with a blue core and the protector goes down. If the blue and the red energy get too close to each other, they both quote-unquote die. Tenma can't find anything but Toby's hat once the robot is neutralized. He realizes that Toby died when the bot let loose its energy beam at the shield and he's devastated. Tenma snaps a little bit and uses the blue core and a piece of Toby's hair from his hat to create a robot version of his son with all of his memories and takes him home. The next day, Orin is beside himself. He knows Toby is a robot, but Tenma tells him to say nothing. Tenma also tells Toby that he'll be homeschooled from now on. But even though Toby is still brilliant, what his dad wants to teach him bores him. He's more interested in building replica models of Da Vinci's sketches that work. Tenma sends him to his room. Toby heard the robots outside his window cleaning the glass and is confused how he can understand them. When he opens the window to talk to them, he ends up falling out, but before he can hit the ground, he discovers he has rocket shoes and can fly. When he makes it back home, Elephant is there and Tenma is saying he doesn't want Toby anymore. He wants Elephant to take him back to the lab, remove the blue core, and get rid of the robot. Toby heard this and is understandably very upset. Tenma tells him he's a robot, not his son. He doesn't want him anymore. But while Toby was flying around Metro City learning his new rocket boots, the military clock him flying and pick up his energy signature. The president tells him to follow it. He wants it. Toby flies out of the house after his dad rejects him and starts sulking and checking out his new robot body. The military finds him and chases him through the city. He's able to evade them, but then the president calls in something called the Spirit of Freedom, a big-ass warship that fires several large missiles at Toby. He tries to get away, but is bombarded. The final blast knocks him clear off the floating city, and he falls to the surface of the earth below. He wakes on top of a giant heap of discarded robots. It appears the surface has become a landfill of sorts for Metro City's robotic waste. Some of the robots circle him in creepy greeting, but he jumps away and falls down a giant pile of scrap. When he lands, he meets a trash can robot that is like a dog, and his name is Trash Can. Trash Can leads Toby to a trap where human children trap him, but they're confused because he's a kid. As they are making introductions, 3 robots run in and grab him and take him to a safe place because they know he's a robot. They're the Robot Revolutionary Front. They tell Toby they want to free robots from human servitude. They help him choose a new name, Astro. These robots tell Toby about someone named Hamegg that takes robots and does something bad with them. They can't hurt him, but they plan to tickle him with a feather. The kids that found him show up, but he tells them the robots are fine. He whispers to a robot that he's an undercover boy from Metro City on a secret mission, and the bots buy it. The kids take them with him. He tells them he's called Astro. The president shows up at Tenma's and he wants the robot. Tenma explains his reasoning for creating the robot and says once the president finds the robot, he will take it offline. Astro is taken to the kids' home. They live with Hamegg. Turns out he used to be a roboticist in Metro, but was kicked out for creative differences. Now he repairs the garbage robots and has them fight in an arena like gladiators from ancient Rome. Hamegg decides to take Astro in. The next day, the kids go looking for more robot parts for Hamegg. Trashcan is upset with Astro for not telling the kids he's not human. He tells Trashcan he will tell them, just not yet. They come across a very old robot that's half buried in the ground. It's an old construction bit that doesn't work anymore, but it's at least a century old. One of the kids says it's junk, but Astro wants to give it a try and he goes inside. Astro talks to the bot and tells him to let him help him wake up and pours some of his blue energy into the old machine, and it comes back to life. Hamegg is very impressed but wants to know how. Astro says he kicked it like a vending machine. Hamegg holds up some device that reads the energy output and gives Astro a somewhat knowing look. The kids get to work cleaning and painting the giant robot, affectionately named Zog. Hamegg is happy. Astro tries to tell one of the kids he's a robot, but dodges at the last second and instead says he really likes it there. The next day are the robot games, and Astro learns that the fights Hamegg puts on are to the destruction of the robots. When Astro questions him about this, he pulls out a device that shocks and incapacitates him, and Hamegg tells the kids he's a robot. He's going to put him in the games. Astro tries to escape, but there's an energy field that keeps him trapped in the arena, and he's forced to fight and destroy several robots against his will. Hamegg becomes frustrated and sends all of his robots after Astro. The Robot Revolutionary Front has infiltrated and tries to intervene with their feather, but it doesn't help. Astro crushes all the robots and Hamegg sends Zog, but the military have found Astro's energy signature on the surface. In the arena, Zog refuses to harm Astro. Hamegg tries to force it with his shock tool. Zog gets mad and tries to go to stomp on Hamegg, but Astro saves him by holding Zog's foot up. Then the government arrive to take Astro away, and Astro lets them. The kids in Trashcan are sad. The president is happy. He can start his war with the surface and win his re-election. The president takes Astro to Tenma's lab and tells him to uncreate him and give him the core. Elephant tells him that this isn't his fault and says the nicest things about him, but Astro says he tried to fit in and it didn't work, so maybe this is his destiny. Tenma places Astro on a table and says it was just a machine. The president is right. Tenma opens Astro up and removes the core. He says he's sorry. Astro says he's sorry he wasn't a better Toby, Dad. Tenma hands the core to the president. Then he changes his mind and takes the core back. He puts it back into Astro and tells him he's still his son and to fly, and fly he does. The president is pissed. He says that they need to use the red core to get the blue core back. As Elephant objects, the president tells him negative energy always wins. Just look at him. Elephant says that's his point. The president puts the red core into the protector robot and tells him to destroy the boy and bring back the blue core. The robot absorbs him and takes off to do just that. In the sky, as Astro is fleeing, he meets the two robots that were cleaning his windows that day in his room, and he stops to chat, but turns and sees explosions coming from the metro and flies back to help. Astro finds the protector, and a fight ensues all over the city. Bridges and buildings are decimated. The kids on the surface at Hamegg's can see the explosions as well. They know it has to be Astro, and they decide they have to go and help him, so that they steal Hamegg's flying car and make their way to Metro, eventually saving Astro in the nick of time from one of the Protector President's attacks. As the Protector President tries to get the flying car, it ends up destroying a giant energy facility, and the city starts to fall from the sky. Astro goes below the city to slow the descent because he can't stop it, and ends up gently setting the whole city down on the surface of Earth. Protector President finds Astro and goes to pull him into himself, but Astro gets too close to the red core and Protector is knocked back and Astro's thrown from him. Tenma finds him and tells him that getting too close will kill him and the Protector. They should leave. Astro says no, his destiny is to defeat this guy, and flies back towards the fight and into the Protector's chest. A giant red and blue explosion happens and the Protector is destroyed. The president survived the ordeal and is immediately arrested. The kids find Astro, but he's gone. The kids ask Elephant if he can fix him, but Elephant says the core is dead, so no. Just then, Zog arrives, and Elephant learns Astro brought Zog back to life with the blue stuff, and the elephant asks if he still has some. Zog does and shares it with Astro, resurrecting him to the wonder and delight of the kids in Tenma. He's the hero of the city. At Tenma's car, Oren, the butler robot, calls Tenma Sir, but Tenma says to call him Bill and to take the day off. As Astro approaches, a giant tentacle alien appears in the sky and Astro has to go deal with it. The end. Megan.
Yeah.
What did you think of this movie?
I actually do not like it at all. I was not a fan of it.
Why not?
The first half hour is really horrible. Like, this is not a kids movie at all.
It's
like,
not.
It's just not.
The first half hour is so fucking dark.
And like
you meet this little protagonist kid, he's a super genius, and within 10 minutes he's dead.
Yeah. And it's his dad's fault.
And it's his dad's fault. And his dad is grieving. So he does the only logical thing, which is to build a robot boy. And within 10 minutes of building the robot boy, he's like, I don't want you anymore.
Right. Like, he's just such a cold parent. Like, it's such a horrible kind of relationship. And I cannot stand it. Like, it's just rejection upon rejection upon rejection. And like, the whole, like, him getting frustrated because Toby Bot, whatever, doesn't want to just learn the things that his dad wants him to learn. Like, he wants to learn, like, practical application of it, which is in line with the kind of kid that he was before he died. And, like, his dad can't see it because he couldn't even see his kid the whole time anyways. So because he couldn't, like, he's frustrated with his own inadequacy, and he's so cold to this kid. And then he abandons him.
Yeah.
And then he falls right into the hands of another fucking villain. I will say, however, Hamegg looks exactly like Nathan Lane, who voiced him.
Yeah.
And that was such a treat. But he is also a horrendous character.
He is.
It's this poor robot's entire existence, for the first 3 days of its existence, is nothing but absolute abject cruelty.
Yeah.
From all of the humans around him. Except the kids. But they're also cruel to him at the beginning. Even when they think he's human, when they first meet him, because he came from Metro fucking City. It's just, I was not a fan of this movie. This movie is much, much darker than the synopsis leads you to believe.
Yes, it is.
It wasn't very well written, in my opinion. The animation style was weird.
I didn't mind the animation style, but I agree with you that it wasn't very well written. Aside from the fact that it is dark as hell, and it is cruel, there are so many plot holes.
Yeah.
Like, he meets Cora on the surface, and we find out that she is from Metro City as well, and she's trying to call her parents. She wonders if they miss her. And then when the kids get up to, when the city falls back to the ground and the kids are walking around, her parents are there and they're like, "Oh my God, Cora, we've been looking for you." But like, how long has she been gone?
Right.
How hard did you look?
Yeah. What were the circumstances that led her to being on the surface? Anyways, because she's like Astor's age, which I'm assuming is somewhere between like 10 and 14.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming that they're all, I mean, there are a couple of younger kids that are also there, a couple of twin kids that I think are like 7 or 8. And then a couple of like teens, preteens, tweens, whatever. The other thing that really annoyed me is that it's such a waste of talent, this movie was, because the cast for this movie is stacked. And the voice of Zog is Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson. And he has 3 lines. Charlize Theron is the narrator, but she's only the narrator at the beginning. And she's only got like 3 lines. Ryan Stiles was in it. He had 1 line. He's so funny. Bill Nye was Dr. Elephant, and he was one of the Robot Revolutionary front actors. Alan Tudyk was one of the robots.
I was just going to throw up Alan Tudyk there, yeah.
David Alan Greer and Alan Tudyk were the two robots that were cleaning his window. There's so much crazy talent in this movie. Bill Nighy is, I love him in so many and he plays two characters.
Eugene Levy's in it.
Yeah, Eugene Levy's in this. Kristen Bell plays the voice of Cora. Donald Sutherland is President Stone. Nicolas Cage is Dr. Tenma.
Oh,
we didn't mention
that's who was the president. That was driving me crazy.
Yeah, Donald Sutherland. Matt Lucas, who you'll know from either Great British Bake Off or Doctor Who when Peter Capaldi had his run. And like, there's supremely funny human beings, and there really wasn't a whole lot of levity to the movie at all.
No, there really isn't.
It was also, and I know that a lot of people, like, from some of the reviews that I've read, were upset about it being political. And I mean, I'm fine with that. I think that kids are human beings too, and I don't think that it's too young for kids. I don't think kids can ever be too young to learn about how this country works. But it was like glaringly obvious. It wasn't. I mean, it had a message. It had a message in just the name of the energy sources. There was the positive blue energy and the negative red energy.
Yeah.
And like, it's, I don't know.
And Toby is literally killed by a literal military robot.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie has a lot of problems. I was not a fan of it at all.
Well, what would we rate this movie?
I mean, it's, I don't know. I feel like a C would be generous. C minus, D plus. It wasn't, it wasn't terrible, but like, it wasn't very well put together. And like, it's based on a Japanese manga series called Astro Boy. And I've never read it, but like, I feel like this is just a very like bastardized American version. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a very cohesive story. It also is unnecessarily cruel and dark. So I don't know, like, I wouldn't recommend it, but that's the area that I'm at, is like a C minus, D plus area. What are your thoughts?
I would say D plus.
Okay.
What would we give the caginess of it?
Honestly, and like, we've seen him in voice acting before, and he's done fine. He's done good. I hated his voice acting in this movie. Most of the voice acting in general, actually, in this film sounded very phoned in.
It did. I'll grant you that.
Like, the audio, like the silence around the ambient noise wasn't the same, and you could tell the difference in everyone's, like, especially the ones that just had a couple of lines here and there. I don't know. I didn't feel any emotion from his voice acting. I would say, like, I'd probably give him like the same score as the film. Honestly,
D plus.
D for disappointment. Yeah, D for disappointment for sure.
Well, you got anything else you want to say about this movie?
It's colorful. It's shiny. No, I'm trying to think of like a nice thing to say about it. I feel bad that all I've done is shit on it. But I mean, I don't know. I'm done. I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's a D plus on Astro Boy. If you are following along with us, we are on social media. We are on Instagram at NotTheBeesPod. We have a Patreon at patreon.com/NotTheBees, where you can kick us a few bucks to help support us. You can also, pretty please, rate, review, like, subscribe, all of the things that you can do within your podcatcher of choice to help us reach a larger audience. But that's going to be it for us this week. I've been Elizabeth.
And I've been Megs.
And we'll catch you next time.